My fish fam, it's Nikachu Merfolk Master. I am back with Flame Merfolk, Flame of Anor. Let me tell you, I mean, that card is an absolute beating. If you can get both sides off, drawing two cards and dealing 5 damage to a creature, that's the recipe for beating all those problematic creatures out there. You know, those Oculuses, those, I don't know, a flying guide of souls and so on. So I'd love to delve deeper into this type of deck, especially since we are in a metagame where there's a lot of fast decks with permanents on the battlefield, and I think trying to deal with them with removal, like Flame of Anor, is going to be more useful than dealing with them with counter spells, which can be very difficult when we're on the draw. We all know how it feels to be on the draw versus Guide of Souls, a Johnny, and so on. So we need to be playing more after the fact. With things like Flame of Anor and Lightning Bolt, which, by the way, one of the best removal spells ever in cross-format All-Star. And we can play it in Merfolk. Why not? I mean, we didn't splash a whole lot in the past. And I think right now, because we didn't really need to, but because the metagame is so on the board, I think right now is a good opportunity to lean that way. And the only reason we would be playing Flame of Anor, by the way, is because of the wizards. Vidalian Hexcatcher is a wizard. Reminder, Flame of Anor, if you have a wizard, as you cast the spell, you get to choose two modes between drawing two cards, destroying an artifact, and dealing 5 damage to a creature. We've got a lot of wizards in this deck. Deshaun's Tidebinder's a wizard, Hexcatcher's a wizard, Silvergill's a wizard, not Flood Pits, but Mistcaller and Mindspring Merfolk are both wizards. Some additions to this deck I'd like to play around with. Unlicensed Hearse, I think this is a card that's just been horribly forgotten about. A lot of people are asking, how do you beat Flage? I think this is one route to going about that. Not to mention, this can be an enormous creature. This is a vehicle for 2 mana. Tap, exile 2 target cards from a single graveyard, and Unlicensed Hearse's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards exiled with it. This has so much splash damage versus a variety of decks. You think about the decks that play Murktide, even Oculus, in order to just cast the card, you need to exile something like 6 cards from the graveyard. I was up against Affinity, and their Emrys were just stone cold useless because of the Unlicensed Hearse. And even though they had to flip Tameo, they couldn't protect the Tameo very well because the Unlicensed Hearse was attacking for 8 damage -1. That's still 7 damage. Who cares? So you look at the metagame and how often they're dependent on the graveyard. Unlicensed Hearse hits all of them. I think some graveyard... This is like graveyard hate that also acts like a creature, so I considered Unlicensed Hearse as part of my creature count. It's slightly clunky in our deck because we got a lot of 1 toughness creatures. If I only have a Mistcaller out, if I only have a Hexcatcher out, I can't crew this thing, but for the most part, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Now, cards in the sideboard, I keep forgetting about Disruptor Flute, which I shouldn't. It's a 2-mana artifact. Flash as the artifact enters. Choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name of 3 more. Spells with the chosen name cost 3 more to cast. I don't really care about that part, although maybe I should. But the part I do care about is activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. That's really important when we're fighting against a Johnny. That's really important when fighting against Goblin Bombardment. So if they play Goblin Bombardment in response to Disruptor Flute, and then Goblin Bombardment, which is an activated ability, can't be used anymore. So it's a fantastic counter. And then not even response, you could just play Disruptor Flute even way after the fact just to shut down their Goblin Bombardment or make them make any move that they need to make before it's too late. So I think Disruptor Flute is a fantastic addition to the deck. This is actually a card Affinity plays a lot, and I think it's well worth trying. So I've reduced I'm not sure if this deck even needs counter spells, to be honest. I mean, it needs some, maybe Force of Negation, but the amount of counter magic that the deck needs right now maybe it should go lower, just because we are playing little bit more after the fact with Disruptor Flute, with Engineered Explosives, which kills a lot of the great 1-drops, with Lightning Bolt, with Flame of Anor. And I'm like, when I'm sideboarding, I'm like, I don't need these counter spells. I'm playing to the board already, you know what I mean? Okay, with that, let's get into our Modern League. So for round 1, we won the die roll, which is always great. Our hand it's okay. It's a little clunkier than I'd like it to be because we don't have a 1-drop, but I'll keep it. We can go with Scalding Tarn, fetch, steam vents, and then be on our merry way. They probably don't even know what we're on. Or maybe they do. Ooh, a flooded strand. Mind you, this deck doesn't have any counter spells. Oh, we got a watery grave. Oh, sorry, we don't have Cavern of Souls in this deck in order to make the red splash work. Main phase preordained. So it's probably a Murktide deck of some sort, which sort of sucks. This deck doesn't do very well versus Bowmasters. One of the reasons this whole plan works at all is because of the lack of Bowmasters in the metagame. Well, if I run into Bowmasters, I run into Bowmasters, but I don't want to run into removal. Sorry, I don't want to run into counterspell, so I'm just going to throw a Hexcatcher out there. If they like main phase... What the hell? Cephalid Coliseum. Maybe this is a combo deck. Target player mills 10 cards. Oh, ooh, so we were up against mill. So Hexcatcher should be valuable. Flame of Anor should be... I'm not going to say worthless, but not great. Yeah, we need a bit of a clock, so I'm just going to let our opponent mill us for a little while. Just for a little while. And I believe this Cephalid Coliseum says it can make us draw 3 cards. Target player draws 3 cards, then discards 3 cards. That's fine. Scalding Tarn. I have to be careful about fetching with these because of Mindbreak Trap. I'm just thinking, do I want to play... Okay, let's do some obvious things. Let's play this land. Let's attack. Svelun or Tishana's Tidebinder? If I hold up Tishana's Tidebinder, we might be able to snap off a... Well, first off, I don't want to run Svelun into a Fatal Push. That would sort of suck. Because even though it's drawing me a card, I think it's still valuable. I think that's still good. And also, if there's any chance that we hit a fetch land, it would be right now with Tishana's Tidebinder. Okay, so let's wait on Svelun. And then if I can get Tishana's Tidebinder in play, then Svelun will be basically indestructible. And also, I don't have a problem with just, like... If nothing happens in this game... Okay, so this is what's happening this turn. Maybe I want Tishana's Tidebinder that. Because I have nothing else to Tishana's Tidebinder this turn. Alright, we'll go after this. I would rather just get the power in play. Drown the Lock. Okay, we'll sacrifice our Hexcatcher. Because we have another Hexcatcher coming up. How many cards do I have in my graveyard? Many cards. Alright, if you needed that thing, well, too bad. You don't have it anymore. Another Spire Bluff Canal. I'm like... sort of tempted to just fire off this Scalding Tarn now. Okay, what is the most mana efficient thing to do? I think the most mana efficient thing to do is going to be attack for 3 and then play the Svelun. And then our opponent can have like one more mega turn to do whatever they want. I'm not thrilled about this because they can Fatal Push the Svelun. Or Drown the Locket, I guess. But we'll still have a Hexcatcher in the end. Crab. Crab it up. Guess this is where we're going to see a fetch. Well, so this is actually going to turn our Scalding Tarn off. I was thinking, should I like squeeze in maybe a mountain to get around like Boseiju, Field of Ruin. Oh, Tishana's Hideous Laughter. I got a good chunk of chunky cards in my deck. I don't know if I have enough, though. We'll go down to 22. So we're definitely going to kill this crab with the Flame of Anor. and actually I can, okay, how do I do this? How do I sequence this to maximize? Because I don't know how to do it. Okay, so I'm going to fetch. Oh, I don't. I did. Oh, that was a huge noob mistake. I didn't even have a mountain in my deck. Sorry, an island in my deck. I could have fetched for nothing. So we're gonna shock. We're now going to attack and draw. Okay, we're gonna attack and draw. And that was a useless card. And I guess now I Flame of Anor, kill the crab. And I guess, you know what? Let's not draw any more cards. I don't need to draw any more cards. I have enough cards. Kill crab. Play Hexcatcher. Deal 8. Okay, no more shock lands for you. So we have a lot of room of like sacking 2 creatures here and still winning. And there's no Mindbreak Trap in their hand. In some sense, I'm actually pretty sure that the red splash is going to benefit us over mono blue. Even though this is a pretty good matchup, the red splash should be better for a few reasons. The first one being that we have more ways of dealing with the crabs, which is the #1 way we would ever lose this matchup. So that's one way. The second, a second reason is Lightning Bolt actually can also go to the face, which increases our clock if we just randomly need to deal a few more points of damage. Okay, so Blood Moon actually should be very good in this matchup because they don't operate very well off of... they need a lot of blue sources. And even if they get like 1 blue, 1 black out, it will still make their game plan really clunky. I mean, technically we should be bringing in all the counter spells. But I don't need Consign to Memory. We're not that desperate. Do I really need Blood Moon? Okay, Mistcaller is not important. I'll shave like a flame. Oh, but this is still a mill matchup. So maybe I'm going to bring in... I like siding up in these matchups. I'm a huge fan of going to 64 cards. Some people like say, oh, that's stupid. You're just watering down your strategy. Not really. Not by much, in my opinion. Not by much. Not enough that it matters. Unlicensed Hearse actually secretly will be very good because it interacts with Drown in the Lock, making Drown in the Lock a little bit worse, making it harder to pull off... like, there's a lot of things enabled by filling the graveyard, so Unlicensed Hearse can be useful there. Maybe it's win more. Engineered Explosives looks tempting. It's tempting because I can blow up... Is there anything Disruptor Flute hits? So I can blow up all the crabs with Engineered Explosives. That's the tempting part of it. And I could go more control-y. What if I sided all the... Like, I don't have that many 1-drops. I could go more control-y. What does Disruptor Flute hit, though? Choose a card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. I'm not sure what this hits. Just in case they're... Also, another thing about Flame of Anor, it hits Ensnaring Bridge. If they want to bring in an Ensnaring Bridge, by all means, be my guest. I feel like we shouldn't have so many Mistcallers. Maybe we'll have like 1 Glass Cannon, Engineered Explosives. We blow up all those stupid crabs. But it might be going overboard because I have a lot of removal. What does Consign? Consign to Memory has targets too. Maybe not enough for me to care. I'm getting the feeling like I should not be siding out this Flame of Anor. It hits a lot of stuff. Hits things and stuff. There's nothing wrong with hitting things and stuff. We have no lands. Nothing. Nada. Zip. 0. Easy mulligan. And we're going to find... this hand's okay. Okay, we're going to keep... toss away... See Rainforest, I guess. Done. Hand is also pretty clunky. Nothing on turn 1. We'll have stuff for... Well, they have nothing on turn 1, though. Okay, so that's a good start. Not sure why they want to do it now. Are they afraid I'm going to consign to memory their Undercity Sewers? It could mean that their hand is just loaded. That they didn't want to risk me ever, like, messing around with this thing. Because I don't know why you would want to main phase fetch, do that. Oh, look at all the Spire Bluff Canals we have. Millions. Spire Bluff Canal for days. Okay, they're going to cycle. The Fractured Sanity. Slightly flooding out. Anyway, I won't play that right now. Just play our Silvergill Adept. We draw a card. Let's curve out. Let's guarantee some value while the shields are somewhat down. Licensors, all right. Let's see if we can start making that card work. So next turn I can go Vile Unlicensed Hearse. I have no idea when our opponent might Mindbreak Trap us, so I'm going to really baby this Scalding Tarn. Like, super baby it. Not to mention, one of our islands already got dumped, which sucks. Okay, Glimpse. Gonna Glimpse me. So what's in our graveyard? Only one island. It's important because I only have 2 islands in my deck, so when this Field of Ruin hits me, I mean, it's gonna hit me really hard. Attack for 2, and then we'll go Hearse into Vile. I guess Vile into Hearse. And pass. And I guess we're going to start exiling our graveyard. Because it's the biggest graveyard. Okay, there's a Ruin Crab. Come to ruin my day. Another Field of Ruin. Alright, so the wastelanding will begin. Okay, we'll see if we get Mindbreak trapped here. I do get an island. It's my only island. Mindbreak Trap? I actually can't interact with it right now. Sorry, not my... It was Archive Trap. I keep getting my traps mixed up. Alright, we get Archive Trapped. 1 Archive Trap. Let's see if that 4 cards I sided up into. Because remember, you can side... You can't have less cards than what your deck started with, but you can have more cards than what your deck started with. I'm just... grab 2 random cards. Don't think it matters. Hopefully it doesn't matter. We'll take the Vile up. Ooh, we got a Mutavault. I do not know how to protect that card, though, from the damn Field of Ruin. My opponent has 3 more cards left. It's too many cards, opponents. Too many cards. I guess I'll put a Scalding Tarn in play. And we will main phase deal 5 damage to this crab. Who's being very crabby right now. Crabbing it up. Attack for 2. Then continue to eat some cards from the graveyard. Or I have 33 cards in my graveyard. It's awful. Too many cards already. Unlicensed Hearse a little slow. But every turn I'm still alive, this Unlicensed Hearse is going to get better. Okay, dude, it's interesting. Another reason to have Flame of Anor post-board would be to increase the mana value of my deck for Tasha's Hideous Laughter. That would also work. Notice if I have Blood Moon right now, my opponent would have only a single island in play. Shuts off Field of Ruin, the fetch lands. Shuts a lot of stuff off. So anyway, I didn't play the Mutavault because if I just play Mutavault right now, they'll definitely Field of Ruin it, and I would rather they Field of Ruin some other land. Spire Bluff Canal, I get nothing, then I play Mutavault as a threat in the future. I believe we have a 2-turn clock from here. Because I'm going to exile 2 cards from my graveyard. hold on. Does this have threshold? Okay, I'm gonna start attacking my opponent's graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I don't know when this got played, but I totally forgot about the Cephalid Coliseum. So that's a Miller. So I got to keep that graveyard down a little bit. It's actually something they might be thinking about right now. If they play any spell, or what's the cost to activate this? Got to pay a blue and tap. So right now they could like activate Field of Ruin. Oh, and then just activate Cephalid Coliseum at the same time. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You gain 3 life for each card exiled this way. It's pretty evil. Okay, so we're gonna exile Fractured Sanity and Archive Trap. I cannot exile all the creature cards from my graveyard, so I'm not even gonna try. Go up to 58. What's more important is cards in graveyard. And besides, this Unlicensed Hearse can start attacking for big chunks of damage eventually. Eventually. We're not there yet, but one day. I'm going to still wait on this Field of Ruin. And pass. I wonder... I assume this is just when you activate this. Target player draws 3 cards. Activate only if blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're going to exile 2 cards. Field of Ruin is going to resolve. I get nothing. I wouldn't even want to get anything, even if I could get something. They play a Swamp. I'll just throw this Flood Pits Drowner out. It's not a big deal. If they counter it with, say, not Glimpse, Drown in the lock, it's okay. I might as well play the other one. Let's get as much damage on the board as possible. And now we can play our Mutavault. See, we baited them. We baited the Field of Ruin. That's all we needed to do. Silver Gildep is not bad. Okay, when do we start attacking with this thing? I think we wait to maybe 2 more turns, and then we can start attacking with the Unlicensed Hearse. What is it right now? It's 6. I can attack for 12. Nah, we can wait. Maybe 1 more turn. I don't know what we got rid of here in Exile. What are we? 1, 2 Hex Catchers. How many Hex Catchers are left? There's a few Hex Catchers left. Okay. I think there's 2 Hex Catchers left in the deck, which is good. Feed the Cycle. Instant. As an addition to cost this cast, forage or pay a black. To forage, exile 3 cards from your graveyard or sack of food. Rude! Destroy target creature or planeswalker. That's fine. They're on the defensive. So they might have just a bunch of removal in their hand at this point. I might as well start exiling whatever's left here. Prevent them from foraging. We're at our main phase. I'm actually going to main phase the Silvergill Adept so that we can see what we're drawing here. Because if it's like a forced negation, that's a good card. That's a very good card. In fact, that's so good, I'm probably not even going to play with mana. Unless I absolutely have to. Something big, but they had to tap out big for that. All right. Hexcatcher. Sack a Silvergill Adept, I guess. Well, we got 15 cards left in our deck. This is interesting because I actually might want to draw my own cards so I can have enough Merfolk to like close out the game. I can't really activate this Mutavault right now though. Because if I activate Mutavault, then I can't play the Flame. What am I going to do here? And I probably should keep Mutavault open. So how much damage? This is a lot of damage. This is a lot of damage. But if they like pass the turn, I'm not opposed to just drawing 2 cards with Flame of Anor to try to find some more creatures. More creatures on the board give us more security. Okay, let's cast this. Target player draws 2 cards. That will be me. As crazy as that sounds. Just don't mill me for a ton at instant speed, please. Just don't do that. Don't do that and we're going to be good. Battle at the Big Bridge. Destroy target creature who has mana value 2 or less. Revolt. Destroy that creature. Oh, it's just Fatal Push. Okay. These stupid, like, where did this thing come from? Battle at the Big Bridge. All right, fortunately, my Hexcatcher is dead. I can draw some cards. Okay, so Mystical Dispute is a great draw. That is a very, very good draw. We drew another one. That is fine too. So I'm attacking for how much if I play this? Okay, we'll crew this. Attacking for like 10. I'm not going to say the game is in the bag, but like the game looks pretty good. I might even been able to attack with that Mutavault this turn. Oh no! Oh no! Coming after my unlicensed hearse. It's a lot of problems here. I think I really need to keep this unlicensed hearse so I can win this game within a reasonable amount of time. Didn't want to do that, but I'm doing what I got to do here. Hexcatcher losing a little bit of value. Okay, fetch. And I might have to take a turn off to clear up the graveyard a little bit to prevent the Cephalid Coliseum from doing anything. So they found a card that they like on top. Good for them. Okay, we're going to redeploy the Hexcatcher. I think we have a... Do we have a 2-turn clock? Something close to that. Oh, Lightning Bolt is great. Okay, so how much damage can we deal? Can do a lot of damage. Okay, we're going to activate Mutavault. Then crew the Mutavaults. Sorry, we're going to crew the unlicensed hearse. Crash in for a good chunk of damage. Might be close. Might be still closer than I think or want it to be. Ugh, what is it now? Well, now I can't protect the damn thing. Okay, now this is less close. Now we might be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, so I'm going to assume our library is effectively at 7 because of the Cephalid Coliseum. Which means I should probably like sandbag some crap. I mean, Engineered Explosives is sort of a crappy card right now. The Bateful Master again. We can pay black rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Exile target creature or planeswalker. There's a lot of removal. Okay, so there's no mill cards left. That's some good news. It's maybe the only good news. This deck went all in on control. So we have 4 turns to hopefully kill them before they mill us. There's actually a lot of bad mill cards left in the deck still. Oh, I have a Steam Vents. I'm gonna bolt myself just to represent some weird form of strength. 6. So it's actually a 2-turn clock with the lightning bolt. Unless they kill something, okay, which they do. So now it is a 3-turn clock. So if we attack for 8 and lightning bolt, we win. And siding into 4 extra cards is going to play a part in this game because the Cephalid Coliseum would mill me for victory at this point. See? Okay, so we're going to draw 3 cards, which is great. Or are they drawing 3 cards? Oh, they're drawing 3 cards. Oh! Oh, no. That's actually a really good idea, too. I completely agree with their plan. Oh, they had a bunch. They drew 3 lands and discarded 3 lands. We're drawing more lands, too. Did they find another... it's just like... It's just a removal deck. They might win like this, though. You know what? Honestly, they might actually win like this. I'm going to play my Engineered Explosives on 1. Just in case we see a crab or something. Alright. This plan might work from our opponent. I have 7 cards left. I might even argue that statistically they're winning here. In fact, they're even more statistically winning because they have won. Okay, we're going to go on to game 3. So what worked, what didn't? Probably this is unnecessary. Just bring in an extra random creature. Should be enough. Blood Moon looks so good. Looks so good. Just Blood Moon him and win. Makes so much of their deck really clunky. And also just turn it off. And they have so much removal. Oh my god. That was so much removal. Activated abilities with the of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. This would shut off Field of Ruin and the fetch lands. That sounds evil. Also shuts off like Cephalid Coliseum. Is this like more playable than I think it is? Disruptor Flute. Disrupt the lands. That's not what I was thinking about. And Field of Ruin is really annoying. Field of Ruin is super annoying. It's just almost like a strip mine. I'm gonna just pass on the idea right now. But it could be big. Maybe it's a really big... Oh, I have to side in something. Damn it, I'm only 63 cards. I want 64. Okay, that was a mistake. I could bring in 1 Disruptor Flute. 1 lander, not good enough. Got a mulligan. Not 1 lander. It is good enough. We'll keep it. And I'll probably get rid of... Don't want to get rid of any of these cards. Get rid of, I guess, Force of Negation, because I'm down on cards. I really honestly don't mind playing this as like a draw 2 in response. Alright, don't mind break me trap. Sorry. Not mind break. The other trap. Okay, you didn't trap me. Or maybe you don't have to yet. Maybe you don't have to do anything yet. The trap has not been set. Crabby crab. Now what to do? I think I just lightning bolt this thing. Because that keeps my... I mean, I can't attack into the stupid card. And next turn I can play Mutavault Pass, and we have Flame and Hexcatcher up. Okay, at the moment, Blood Moon hurts me more than it hurts my opponent. No black mana yet, though. Attack for 1. Did they show any sweepers, or was it just all spot removal? I think it was all spot removal. Spot removal for days. I like Mindspring Merfolk. Can buff up our team and also draw some cards as well. Even though this is a mill matchup, like, having extra cards still helps us. Like, I don't mind cards like Silvergill Adept at all. Okay, we'll play Mindspring and pass. Yep. The crab is back. It's better than ever, apparently. Okay, actually, in response to this crab, I can play Hexcatcher, and then if they have Drown in the Lock, I can counter it. Unfortunately, here we have Flame of Anor, which we can snipe off the crab anyway, and draw some cards off of it. But not before our opponent's going to mill us for a good chunk of cards. Might even sack 2 creatures to keep this Hexcatcher on board. Don't know if that is the wisest thing to do, though. Could sack 2 creatures, but the Mindspring Merfolk is also worth lording up the board and also drawing some cards. And this, like, our opponent showed so much spot removal that it might not even be practical to save the Hexcatcher. I mean, Hexcatcher is a very nice card to have, but it's just like they've got so much spot removal. If they had just a little bit of spot removal, I would keep Hexcatcher, but they have so much spot removal that I would sack 2 creatures and then have to sack the Hexcatcher later anyway, and it changes nothing. Okay, so let's cast this. We're going to draw 2 cards and deal 5 damage. So I would draw 2 cards. You lose this stupid thing. Got some more nice stuff. If I don't say so myself. And I'll play another Mindspring Merfolk, I guess. Pass. I'm probably going to like pump up one of these Mindsprings, deal 4, draw like a bunch of cards. Blood Moon's looking worse and worse every few seconds. Okay, Tasha's Hideous Laughter hits us for 17 cards. It's a bit ugly. 17 smackaroos. Doesn't feel like 17 cards, but I guess it is. We keep drawing lands, which is actually pretty good. And by land, I mean like lands that don't deal damage to me. Okay, what's the worst thing that could happen here? What's the worst thing that can happen here? They have another Tasha's Hideous Laughter, maybe? I'm thinking I activate Mutavault and I don't even bother because I want a two turn clock. They have a removal spell in hand. That's like my problem here. They have almost certainly a removal spell in hand. So this is a 2-turn clock. But now they could, like, you know, at their will, mill me for as much as possible. Stupid crabs. I mean, they got to do it. I mean, unless they've got the... oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, Field of Ruin is a very good draw. Oh, no, they show my Blood Moon. I probably wouldn't play it at this point, though. Okay, I do get to get an island. My one island left. Maybe we're going to lose this. Maybe we're going to lose. Okay, I lose 10 cards. I need to top deck a Lord or removal spell. Lord or removal spell would win the game. It's also possible if our opponent has no mill card in hand that we also win the game. But there's I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's a lock at this point. Oh, that's not a good draw. What else can I do here? Oh, actually, there's a few. I can also activate the other Mind Spring, pump my other creatures up so that they have to block with the Ruin Crab. How many cards am I willing to draw here? Like any mill card wins, right? How many cards am I willing to draw? I could draw up to 2 cards, I guess, and maybe there's a bolt there. How many bolts are left? 1, 2, 3. There's a bolt left. I have a Scalding Tarn. Can I like fetch out the last steam vents? How many steam vents are left? 1. I think there's a steam vents left in my deck. What's in my deck list? I'm just gonna double check. Maybe I can just fetch that, like grind. I can draw my deck, I think, or very close to it. Well, what's in my sideboard? There's no bolt in my sideboard, is there? No, there's no bolt in the sideboard. Just like, this is a rare situation where I can like mathematically determine what's in my deck. There's 3 steam vents in my deck. So one. Oh, there's only 3 steam vents in my deck. Okay, so I can't fetch that out. Okay, there's no 4 steam vents. Only 3. So I can Mind Spring. Okay, so let's Mind Spring for 2 anyway. Let's go look for that lightning bolt. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's a lightning bolt left. We didn't find it, chat. We didn't find it, unfortunately. I have nothing to even fetch with this damn thing anymore. Okay, we die to a lot of cards. Let's hope our opponent has none of them. No! That would do it. Oh no! Target player? Oh, they're targeting themselves. Okay, that's smart. If they target me, we could find Bolt and win. Oh man, imagine we could find Bolt to win. That would be so sick. Okay, there's a lot of duds in their deck though, because they're so removal heavy. We won, yeah. We won because they had too much removal. They certainly found enough removal. I have no... Well, okay, well now I thought, like, this is going to be easy, but now, in retrospect, this is actually really hard. It's closer... It might be closer than I think. Or maybe it's just closer just based on how our opponent built their deck with, like, just a way heavier removal package. And, I don't know, our stuff just might be too dinky, and I just have less counterspells because I'm playing more to the board. But we still got the W. All right, we'll get to round 2. Here for round 2, we lost the die roll, and we have a 1-lander that doesn't even have red in it, so I'm gonna mulligan. Yeah, we can keep this, and probably I'll just chop off the top end of this curve. Tashawn's Tidebinder is definitely worth a lot less on the draw than on the play because our opponent will have probably already fetched all their lands that are necessary by the time we get to our turn. And we are on catch-up duty, and we apparently are up against Eldrazi. I have no responses to this thing. Alright, Eldrazi. Wish I had Tashawn's Tidebinder back. I'd probably, if knowing we're up against Eldrazi, I would have thrown away the Mist Caller. Okay, so I'm a little curious now how the Red Splash is going to interact here, because on one hand, I think Blood Moon is way better. Jaws on 1, that's rude. All right, Mist Caller down. Now Mist Caller is worth a lot even less than it was before. In fact, it's completely uncastable. I will start with Misty Rainforest. Yeah, and pass. It's a very legacy-esque play. Oh, this is very Eldrazi. Okay, this is more Eldrazi than I think. It's not like Eldrazi-tron or anything like that. Anyway, end of turn, we'll just fetch. Get some stuff out of our deck. Let's get some, I got some venting to steam off. Some venting to steam off. Silvergill Adept. I think I'm just gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna pass. They said, I mean, if they have all this mana up, just means like it means one. It can only mean one thing, and that is Kozilek's Command. So if they're gonna play Kozilek's Command, I'd like them to do it. I'll counter it. I'll definitely counter it. Yeah. That's an aggressive Kozilek's Command, by the way, which sort of implies to me they got another one. Not much I can do about that, though. But I can get rid of the first one. So if you need more mana, well, your mana's gone. Mana offline. That felt good, to be honest. That felt. Usually I can't hit a Kozilek's Command very much. So they have a Devourer of Destiny here. They didn't put anything underneath this Ugin's Labyrinth. Was this gonna be Thought-Knots here? Okay, I knew it. Look how I can predict it so well. So well, I knew it. Now the fact that they fired that one off tells me that they've got like maybe a third one, because like a regular Eldrazi player would just be like more patient to slowly pick off my creatures. But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I can go Silvergill Adept, Mind Spring, or I can just slam down a Svelune. Okay, let's just hope that they don't have another Kozilek's Command. There's only 2. I don't feel like it was, though. Because otherwise I'm just playing Silvergill Adept here. Chalice of the Void is it's coming to get me. It sort of already has gotten me. And there's nothing I can do about like the removal that they have for Svelune. So even if it was indestructible, because this is it exiles, right? Exile target creature with mana value X or less. So I mean I can't protect Svelune against that. Two greedy Kozilek's commands. They would only be played because there's Kozilek commands to spare. So many Kozilek's commands. Oh, this bounces. You're going to go bouncy bouncy on me now. Devourer of Destiny also bounces, right? You may reveal this card. When you cast the spell, exile target permanents, one or more colors. They have 1, 2... Oh my god, so much of these manas. So many manas. But no more big things to put in hand, I guess. It that heralds the end. Colorless spells you cast with mana value 7 or less cost 1 less to cast, and the Eldrazi's can now attack for some dinky amount of damage now. Okay. Well, my stuff doesn't cost less. Unfortunately. Let's replay our Svaeloon. Well, what do they got then? What's like one of the last things that they have? Maybe another bouncer? Now, all of a sudden, I think, like, okay, outside of Chalice of the Void interacting with Lightning Bolt, now I'm thinking, like, maybe the Red Splash is going to be good, because we got a lot of removal, spot removal for all this little stuff here. A lot of spot removal. Oh, what, did you have a Devour of Destiny in hand? Maybe there's a Devour of Destiny in hand. They're acting like they have a Devour of Destiny in hand. Oh, the third Kozilek's coming. Maybe I was right all along. Maybe I was right all along. Like, nobody burns Kozilek's commands like the way that my opponent did in the first 2 turns, unless there's a backup. So if they ever waste like, in my opinion, a waste of a Kozilek's command is if they don't kill a creature with it. Like, that is just like the standard play to maximize value. But the only reason they would want to do that is because they got like so many in hand, and they gotta use their mana, otherwise they can be like down on mana in the future. So and then when they main phase the second one, I'm like, do they have a third Kozilek's command? Okay, so far our draws have been pretty unfavorable. Well, maybe I should fetch out a island. Let's thin our deck a little bit. Not that it really matters. Show Silvergill Adept. I'll show a Mistcaller afterwards. Oh, got worse before it got better. Show a Mistcaller, which is not getting cast. Well, okay, if we find a Flame of Anor, we can blow up the Chalice of the Void. Unlicensed Thirst is like really meh. Oh, actually it has value here. It's like whenever you got exile target permanent that's 1 or more colors. This has no color. Oh, what about Kozilek's command? Exile target creature with mana value X or less. Ooh. Why couldn't it be like Devourer of Destiny, only picking on creatures that have a color? Thought not seer. All right, go check it out. Check out my goods. Oh, you're gonna feel so good, opponent. You're gonna feel like a genius with that Chalice of the Void. That Chalice of the Void player, like, yes! I knew I should have put this in my deck. Eldrazi aggro. I'll just take 3. Come on. Oh, didn't they take the unlicensed Hearse? I swear they took it. This is like the opposite of the Thoughtseize bug. It's funny, I only have 2 of these in my deck, but I seem to draw them pretty often. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. I still have to deal with this thing over here. My opponent keeps playing other spells. The Eldrazi Line Breaker. What is this? At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains haste and plus X plus 0. X is the number of Eldrazi you control. That's disgusting. Absolutely unadulterated disgusting. That's okay. Do I really concede? So I can chump block, double block, take 5. Does it have trample? Oh, it does have trample. Okay, I concede. Okay. Alright. Alright. Ooh, Consigned Memory is probably good. Blood Moon is most certainly good. Force Negation is probably not that good. Let's see. Disruptor Flute. So you've got like an Eldrazi. So one of those. You have an Eldrazi on one of those lands that you have on the battlefield. I could, in response to putting the card back in your hand, I could play Disruptor Flute and make it cost 3 more. Not that I really want. I don't even think 3 mana is even that big of a deal for most of the Eldrazi's. Also, this is a very aggro deck. This is very aggro Eldrazi. Engineered Explosives. It sounds good on 0. Because I can wipe away the Chalice of the Void and the tokens. So that's it. How many 2-drops were there? Not that many. We were just going to get rid of Mistcaller and then call it a day. Have everything else. I should probably double check to see if there's anything completely worthless, but no, everything else is okay. Unlicensed Hearse is probably like meh. Like meh. It's probably not the best thing. But it's like in theory, I can make it big enough to block a lot of the Eldrazi's, and also it cannot be hit by the with the Devourer. The exiling my blue creatures Eldrazi. I'm hoping a card like Flame of Anor is going to really shine here, because this is like a game. This is a game where usually they're beating me down, and they're also beating me on attrition. And Flame of Anor deals with both problems, in that it can kill like most of their creatures, like Thought-Knot's here, for example, plus draw me some cards to help me get back into the game. And there are some creatures that are like 6/6s. I don't think that's a problem. You can just chump block and then Flame of Anor, draw 2 cards, and you still like get ahead on the deal, if you know what I mean. I was just thinking about it right now. Consign of Memory is probably not as strong as I think it is because of Cavern of Souls, which they most certainly have. We're drawing into a very weird portion of the meta. Very weird. Very, very, very weird. Okay, we're going first this time. Imagine we went first last game. We'd have like a Mistcaller out and everything. It's going to be Chalice on 1. Oh, it heralds the end. No. It's going to be the end to you. Can't make things cheaper. They must get more expensive. Must get more expensive. That's not bad. Yeah, let's get that in play. Actually, I don't have to fetch yet. The turn 2 Ether Vial. This is probably the first and only time I've ever been happy to have an Ether Vial on turn 2. Probably have never been happy to have this thing on turn 2 before. See the Cavern of Souls. You needed that first turn, though. You needed that on the first turn. So what, this is going to start beating me down for 4 damage immediately? It's pretty rude. That's really aggressive. It's very, very aggressive. That's why we need Flame of Anor. Well, at least Mindspring Merfolk is coming out on curve. I think we're going to get beat down by this card for a few turns. The Line Breaker, until we can get Flood Pits to just come into play for 2 mana. Hopefully Tishana's Tidebinder can interact with something. I can interact with the Line Breaker, sort of, but I don't really want to use it on that. Oh, it's also important to note they have a Sire of 7 Deaths over here. Also a very rude card. Okay, so they're going to try to exile. I think they're going to try to exile my Ether Vial. That's the Miko spawn. So when you cast this spell, search your library for a land card. Nah. I don't think so. Nah. How about you get nothing? Screw your ramp. So what, they were land short from destroying my land, which is good. I wish it was all one trigger, because it gets divided. That's just very frustrating. You can dismember the Tidebinder, doesn't change what's happening with the trigger. Trigger down. Oh my god, it gives other creatures haste? It's pretty disgusting. Okay, maybe it was actually more correct to deal with the line breaker. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Still got to deal with future cards. But other creatures don't get trample, which is the good news. Okay, we're going to play our Sveiloon. Do I attack here with my Lonely Mind Spring? I guess so. It's not blocking. Sveiloon's a decent blocker here. For as long as there isn't a Kozilek's command or Dismember, well, actually, there's a lot. Like, they can bounce Sveiloon. There's, like, a lot of ways of this going wrong. And it looks like they're about to do something. Okay, it heralds the end. That's fine. Actually, it's not fine. It buffs everything up large enough that it's, Oh, actually, that's fine. Okay. So you're gonna make that thing bigger. So it's a 5/2 with haste. But does have trample, which means I can I can Flood Pits the Sowing Mycospawn. If they want to attack with anything, I go block. Activate Mutavault. That should be good enough. But I have a feeling something else is up their sleeve, you know what I mean? I do want them to attack with both. Or if they attack with both confidently, I guess I'm in trouble. Okay, so we'll block with Sveiloon and Flood Pit Drowner, I guess. Yes, that works. So we're just trading a Flood Pits for a Eldrazi Linebreaker. Because if they put all 4 damage on Sveiloon, then she's indestructible. So they have to kill the Flood Pits. And then if they try to kill one of my creatures, I can activate Mutavault and saves. Save! Sveiloon. Sveiloon shall be saved. Alright. We live to see another day. I will not use the ability. We have a Oh! Oh! Oh, what is this? Random 7 mana? Damn it. And I have the 2 islands in play. When's the right moment for this? It would be right now, wouldn't it? Okay, so you put it back in the hand. You have 4 mana, so they have to wait for 2 more mana to cast this card. We lose Mutavault. It's the only thing we lose, unfortunately. It's a tough one. But it shuts down, like, a lot of cards. A lot of cards. But any lands still help them. The stupid card. Colorless spells you cast with mana value 7 or greater cost 1 less. That's 7 or greater. So it costs 6. So go land. They didn't play a land drop last turn. Well, maybe they didn't play a land drop because it's turn 5 right now for me, and I was on the play. Okay, so I don't have to worry about this attacking. I can attack with Sveiloon, get more information about what I want to do with my turn. And I can attack with Flood Pits as well. Let's do that. Let's get more information. It'd be so nice if they tap down this Ugin's Labyrinth, though. Unlicensed Hearse is okay. Actually, Unlicensed Hearse is good because that actually can beat a Sire of 7 Deaths. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna blow. We're gonna go. We're going to moon. We're going to the moon. Not the moon that you want to, though. Oh, they're just conceding to Blood Moon. Okay. I wouldn't do that. I don't think that. I didn't think your position was that bad. Sire of 7 Deaths is a pretty big deal. I get. Did I miss something? I'm pretty sure you can just activate it and put it back into your hand. Oh, you can activate it. That's an activated ability. Activated abilities with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. I don't think that's worth bringing Disruptor Flute in for, though. This seems like such an interesting Swiss Army knife, though. Such an interesting Swiss Army knife. Okay. We'll just submit it. Blood Moon, good. Good card. Very good. Cannot be dismembered. Cannot dismember. Cannot Kozilek's return. So I think that was the first time I ever won with a Blood Moon. Like it won the game. This hand is fine. This hand is. It does no creatures in it, but well, I mean, if my opponent has what's it called, Caravan of Souls, I might be screwed. But I'm willing to take that chance. I can play a little slow for a little while. Eldrazi Temple. I can bolt that. That's a bolt target. Actually, good question. Do I care yet? Maybe I don't. I could bolt it, but then they can play something. They could play another Soul Land, play Thought-Knot Seer. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna play Consign to Memory first on like the first thing. And then like I'll go turn 2 like Lightning Bolts. See, I'd like to consign the first spell. Because otherwise that was just that would resolve, and that's big. But now I can go Lightning Bolt and hold up Consign. Unfortunately, we're drawing more lands. Not beautiful, but whatever. That's definitely counterable. Everything's like a must counter threat. Like everything in their deck is like just must counter. Must counter this, must counter that. We draw an island, which is fine. I will... guess I'm just going to play my Hearse, though. So actually, no. Drawing an island is not fine. We peeled 3 lands so far. So now we are super behind on the threat density race, and now we're just losing because we're flooding out. So we need like some card advantage card to come up for us. Okay, that was good. That's gonna feel good. That feels like they are not gonna win this exchange. Ha! Yeah, take everything you want. There's nothing to take. Sorry about that. Nothing I can do. I drew that bad. Okay, let's start eating graveyards. So the only use for Unlicensed Hearse in this spot is just to eventually outclass the Eldrazi's here. Okay, I drew a Mutavault. And pass? I think we're just going to get beat down at least one more time by this Thought-Knot Seer. And we'll exile a few more cards from my graveyard. I want to get to a point where this Unlicensed Hearse is a, like, 6-power creature. Ooh, Cavern of Souls. Poorly timed. I could say the same about my own stuff, too. The Line Breaker. Ooh, this is going to be a lot of damage. So you target yourself, deal me 8. Is this too much damage? Sorry, no, you're dealing me 9. I go to 8. Next turn, I can block one thing. Okay, I'm gonna risk it. I just need this Unlicensed Hearse to be bigger than, say, a Thought-Knot Seer in the future. Or, like, otherwise we're just, like, way too far behind. Eat up these 2 cards from my graveyard. I can't fetch now. Or I don't want to. I might need the life. That was a fantastic draw. It was a very, very, very good draw. Very well timed. Very likely whatever they play and then give haste, I can tap down with Flood Pit's Drowner. And then neither of these creatures will want to attack into the Unlicensed Hearse. Because what I can do is I can crew the Unlicensed Hearse, block, then eat a card in the graveyard to buff up my Unlicensed Hearse. It's unfortunate. Oh, what I could also do actually is fetch to make it a 6/6 so I could get out of range of Dismember. But then that's not good. I mean, if there's Dismember in their hand, I'm in trouble, I guess. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Well, there goes that plan. That sucked. That is going... Okay, so that thing gets very big and with haste. Then that's where we swoop in with our Flood Pit's Drowner, tap it down. We will welcome the attack by Thought-Knot Seer because we will double block with Mutavault and Flood Pit's Drowner. I have a feeling like we're going to get blown out by like a Dismember or something. But we're not really in a position to be... we're not in a position to play around anything. Gotta do what we can with what we got. Yeah. They played exactly as I expected them to. Okay, guess we're not technically dead yet, but it's not good. It's very, very not good. Oh, okay. Well, we just flooded out this game. They had a steady stream of threats. We did not. We had a really good start though. We had a really good start. Like the lightning bolt and the consign to memories, and then nothing else. We needed a lot of stuff. Well, they're almost empty-handed at this point. They have 1 card left. Good value cards versus our... Well, we have value cards too. Anyway, that was round 2. Let's move on to round 3. Here for round 3, we won the die roll, but we have no lands in their starting hand, so we're just going to mulligan. We have lands. I'm going to keep it. I'm probably going to dump the Glasspool Mimic. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the Glasspool Mimic. I'll keep the Mistcaller. I mean, I could dump the Mistcaller. Maybe I can dump the Mistcaller. You know what? I'm gonna dump the Mistcaller. I'm gonna keep the higher value Glasspool Mimic. So we're gonna get rid of. But like, well, if I was on the draw, maybe Mistcaller would be a little bit more valuable. If I also knew what my opponent was on, maybe it's a little bit more valuable too. But I don't know. My opponent's called Spicy Lychee. Very spicy. Thought Lychee was sweet. I'm up against a blue deck with Preordain. What is this, Blue-Red Storm? I got a 1-drop anyway. And actually, Glasspool Mimic works very well with Mindspring Merfolk. Works beautifully, actually. Gloom Lake Verge. Oh, is this just Grixis? I think this is just Grixis Reanimator. Oh! Oh! Okay, I want that miscaller back. Where'd my miscaller go? Yeah, I need that miscaller back, please. Oh! This is a spicy deck. Come from Spicy Lychee. Holy crap. Fortunately, we've got actually a lot of hate cards for this deck. Funny enough. Alright, I'm gonna get a Hoof for 3, I guess. Okay, I'm not gonna be thrilled about doing this, but we are gonna fetch out a Steam Vents, bolt ourselves, because we do need to be prepared if we draw any red sources. Even to, like, kill off that Vengevine over there. Vengevine! If you cast 2 creatures in a turn, you get to play this card. You just could put it from the graveyard directly into play. That is terrible. I have 3 Aether Vial in this deck to prevent that from ever happening. Because this is just how Magic is these days. Like, you're under so much pressure, you never have any time to play the second Aether Vial. And you never need it either. Okay, I have a new plan for this Glasspool Mimic. You are a blue source to fuel my Mind Spring Merfolk. That's what you are. And if I draw another land, that's great too. I have no problem with that. What is this, a 3/4? Okay, I can't attack into any of this right now. Defense, 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 defense. I'm probably just going to get hit by the Vengevine. Oh my god. Okay, so I will attempt to block the Blazing Root Walla. Yeah, you're going to buff it up. But then I'm going to buff my cards up. Because I have a Hexcatcher, which can turn into a 4/4. But then I expect that there is some sort of removal here. There might not. But there might. There probably is. Oh, please let it be Terminate. It's just Lightning Bolt? Okay, we're just gonna... It's a trade. The only sad thing about this trade, though, is I did need the extra lands from my Mind Spring Merfolk. I could use the extra lands. Okay, we are horribly outclassed here. Too little, too late. That's funny. I had that. I had it, chat. I had it in game 1. But how the hell do I know that this is the matchup where they're playing Vengevine? Okay, cards do we want? Maybe Engineered Explosives. Maybe Mystical Dispute. Maybe even Consigned to Memory. What does Lightning Bolt deal with? Just the Madness Creep. I mean, I don't know what else they have in their deck. Maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if they had Hollow One. As crazy as that sounds. Okay, this card is fine. This card has to be good. What else would they have in their deck? I just don't know. But Psychic Frog is a pretty important piece. It's so important that maybe I'm going to side out some of these consigns that we put the Mystical Dispute in our deck. It's also possible this deck is shut off by Blood Moon, but I don't know about that. I just don't know. I brought in Mystical Dispute? Is that a mistake? The other thing I'm thinking about is Consigned to Memory can counter 1 instance of the Vengevines. But maybe that's all I need. I might also want Force of Negation for... They've got to have Faithless Looting. There's no way they don't have Faithless Looting. Okay, I'm gonna spit like this. But I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what's in their deck. I got no clue. I'm gonna keep this. I don't have a shred of a clue what their deck list looks like. I'm in the dark. It's very, very hard to play against decks like this. Like, if I know what the whole 75 is, great. If I don't, no, not great. Very bad. I can't even count on Mistcaller in this matchup because they're very likely a very removal-heavy deck. Sure, you got Faithless Looting. So, and actually, do you know what? I didn't think about this. Because I have 2 fetch lands, I should probably fetch out an island first, so that if I naturally draw a red source, I don't have to take damage from the second Scalding Tarn. I didn't think about that. Oh, the Vengevine here is here. Oh, what the hell is this other card? Skittering Kitten. Haste, discard a card, sack this creature, draw a card. I've seen cards like that before. Okay, we shall attack for 1 and just pass, and then I'll make my mind up about Floodpit's Drowner or Hexcatcher. Another Faithless Looting. Sure. They have Riddler in this deck, too. Yeah, maybe Blood Moon would really shut this deck down. I want to keep attacking, so I'll play Flood Pits. That's the wrong time, Ether Vial. It's not a good time. Now's not the time for that. Or I could play the Ether Vial and then hold up Hexcatcher. But I sort of just want to have Sveilun in play to protect my board and just have a brick wall just in case they do somehow go off. Okay, they're going off way slower than they did last game. What is this? Pyroclasm. Crack the Mistcaller. Sure, you eat up your creatures, but I keep a Sveilun, and frankly, feel like I keep the advantage in this game. Drew a land that comes into play tapped, which is always awkward. I should play nothing. I'm gonna play nothing. No Ether Vial. I don't have 8 creatures to play, but I have a lot of spells. So if I have to hard cast a Mystical Dispute, I can. In this case, I don't. And I have a Hexcatcher. Okay, 1 Vengevine comes back. That's fine. We're actually ahead on the board here. And I can kill it with Flame of Anor. Ooh, I have Sync. That's almost like removal. Attack? Sure. If you want to block my Hexcatcher, I think I'm fine with that. It's the second creature, right? You have to sack 2 creatures. Fine. In that case... Yeah, I should do this now while you're tapped out. I have no idea if there's, like, other cards in my opponent's hand that can save them. Like, if they got a counterspell or something. Like Mystical Dispute of their own. I mean, it seems to be a pretty heavy blue deck. If they go for Faithless Looting, I think I'm just going to counter it with the Hexcatcher. Was it Oculus? What's Oculus? Okay, so Oculus will get 1 card, but outside of that, we can... Okay, I'm going to fetch. Let's get Steam Vents. Actually, I don't have to kill it at my upkeep. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't change. Kill it later. Flood Pits is good. So we're going to cast. Deal 5, draw 2. I would like to draw 2. I'd like to kill this thing off, please. We drew some good cards. These are good cards. Okay, they're acting like they don't have anything in their hand. I think I'll just attack for 4 though. Okay, what does this card do? I didn't pay attention. When it enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. When you cast an artifact or a lesson spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Soka. I have a feeling it's just a 2-mana looter. Would not be surprised there are no artifacts in this deck. What is that? You may cast this card from your graveyard using its warp ability. That brings it back into play. Does that have at the beginning of the next end step, exile this permanent. Okay, I need to clear the board for my stuff. How about I just let them attack? I think I'm just going to let my opponent attack. They want to attack. They're on defense. Okay, take it. Take 4. And then we'll Flood Pits, tap down Vengevine. I was actually hoping Vengevine attacks, and I just tap down whatever was left. Okay, we win. And if they, I mean, they could still. Oh, actually, no, they couldn't. Okay, so I apparently could attack through everything. I had 4 power going through. But if I needed to, I could have played Glasspool Mimic, copy the Flood Pits Drowner, tap down the creature, and then attack for the win. Well, it sort of looks like Blood Moon is super powerful. They didn't show any basics in that game. Like, nothing. The only problem with Blood Moon is if I'm behind, the card is very bad. But while I'm ahead, it's very, very good. Or when it's even. Because it seems to just prevent them from casting cards for the rest of the game. Did they even have a single basic out last game? So if I play Blood Moon, the only thing they can cast are like Faithless Looting, maybe Lightning Bolt if it's in their deck. And I don't even know if that's true. And Basking Rootwalla. Those are like the only things. It might be worth playing. Maybe it's worth it. Okay, Mystical Dispute. On the draw will be so much worse. Still good versus the Frog, though. No, but still. Okay, we'll bring in Blood Moon over the Mystical Dispute. It seems like Mystical Dispute has only one target, and that is the Psychic Frog, which is fine. It's a very worthwhile target. His hand's nice, actually. It's nice. So long as our opponent doesn't go off on turn 2, it's very, very nice. Okay, we're going to keep it. That's so hot, really. Honestly, this turn 2 Psychic Frog into Vengevine and a bunch of other stuff, that's a pretty hot interaction. Oh, I need a land. We're going to get cooked. Okay, just don't die. Don't die. That's the key here. I need to not be lost by turn 2 on the draw. And we have a chance. We have a chance. So if they go like Psychic Frog into my death, then we're doomed. All right, Faithless Looting. I'm going to put this Vial on 1 for a very long time. Or maybe not. Okay, Madness. 1 Root Wall in play. I can deal with that. Do you have a second creature? Oh, you do. The Skittering Kitten. Okay, we are... Well, we're not dead, but this is not a good spot. Okay, now I desperately need to draw a land. It's going to get worse before it gets better, probably. If I could get a land in play, this would be very, very different. So how does this other card work? You just warp it for 2 life. So it just deals a random amount of damage to me for this turn. Oh, you had another Vengevine in the graveyard. See, if we had our unlicensed hearse by turn 2, none of this would have happened. None of it. Now what? Okay, so we're going to take a lot of damage. A really huge... Oh, I'm an idiot! Oh, whoops. What's that? I forgot. We were so behind, and I was so focused on using this Mist Caller to block this Blazing Root Walla that I didn't even think about, like, trying to interact with this Vengevine. Okay, so we warp that away. I need to draw... I think I'm just dead. Okay, no. I need a land. If I get a land now, then maybe there's a chance. But I need the land, because I do have a Flood Pits Drowner. No, we didn't draw the land. So, like, no matter... oh, actually, hold on. I don't have to... I can... Vial in, Silvergill Adept. Land? It's not the land I wanted, but, at this point I can't be picky. Can't even go get a red source. Too dangerous. Too dangerous to get a red source. So now what I can do is I can Flood Pits Vengevine, then chump block the Blazing Root Wall and a Vengevine. But one of these Vengevines shouldn't even be here. I should be up against 2 Root Walls and a Vengevine. Block. Block. Blocky, blocky. Okay, now we need another land. And I need to tick this vial up to 3. Land? I can't cast that land. Okay. This thing's still locked down for a turn. So I do have an opportunity to play this unlicensed hearse and maybe start eating stuff up from the graveyard. We can play this. Pass. So Vengevine attacks for 3. I can block it with Tishana's Tidebinder, actually. And then play Sveloon. Ugh, that thing has haste naturally. Now I am dead. Alright, good games. We dead. This I think honestly I think we can beat this. We just against a very, very, very aggressive combo-esque aggro deck, we missed our second land drop on the draw, and I mean that's just fatal. Against any deck that's going to be really aggressive. Could happen versus Burn, Prowess, doesn't matter what. We really need to hit that land drop when we needed to. We also needed them to not like really go off on turn 2. That would have helped too. Anyway, that was round 3. Let's move on to round 4. Here for round 4, we lost the die roll. We have way too many lands and like no threats, so I'm going to mulligan. We have a fine balance between the two. So I'm going to keep. Copperline Gorge. What is this metagame? I don't know a single deck that plays this. I don't know one deck that plays that card. Gonna get an island, I guess. Like, the only deck that comes from my memory bank that plays Copperline Gorge is like Living End. Like the old-fashioned Living End. Jund Living End. Cosmogoyf. Why is it 7/8? Its power is equal to the number of Oh, hold on, did you play that powder card? Oh, you did play the powder. So it's like, why is this thing so big already? The power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. All right, this is going to kill us, probably very badly. It's bigger than big, but it's not big. It's not bigger than, say, what's it called? It's not bigger than a fatal push. You'll still get fatally pushed to death. All right, so we're gonna shock. Yeah, it's a 3-turn clock no matter what. I can afford it, and I guess I'm just gonna do nothing and pass. I can only assume that this is just a... Hold on, okay, what was in here? They did actually reveal a bunch of cards. Devourer of Destiny. I don't know why. Summoner's Pact, Gemstone. Is this just like some sort of deck that's all in on this Cosmogoyf? I mean, this looks like a pile to me. It looks like a giant pile. So I can fetch out an island... well, I have to start getting aggressive on attacking at some point. I wish this was an artifact. It's not. Play Mind Spring, play Scalding Tarn, and pass. I might go... no, I can't fetch. I can only... well, I can fetch, but I can't get a red source. Actually, I can get a red source, because I don't need to play the lightning bolt this turn. I don't need to play 2 bolts this turn. What is this? Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any target. Oh, so you're flinging it at me, and I don't have enough merfolk to counter this thing. Alright, I'm dead. What to do about this? So... okay, Force and Negation. This is like a semi-combo deck. Force and Negation is okay. They had Summoner. They showed me Summoner's Pact. What is Summoner's Pact for? I don't think I've seen the full piece of this deck. I want to say Lightning Bolt is no good. Is Consigned to Memory any good? I would counter that Serum Powder trigger, but I'm not allowed to. I don't have any mana on the first turn of the game. What am I going for here? The only thing I know I need to bring in is Force of Negation. They had Gemstone Caverns. Well, whatever they want to do it like really fast, super quickly. And very early. The only way I can beat that Cosmogoyf actually is with Engineered Explosives. That's my only... it's my only removal. Flame of Anor is not going to do it. Okay, this is a really clunky deck. So let's remove some of the clunk. This color doesn't look like it's doing very much, except for chump blocking. I mean, it's also possible Consigned to Memory is just dead. Oh, they have Summoner. Are they Summoning Pact? I guess they Summoner's Pact for the Fling card. That's what they're doing. And can I counter that in any way? They can Summoner's Pact, and the Fling was red, so bringing in Blood Moon doesn't do anything. It seems like a deck just completely based around Cosmogoyf, so if I just beat the Cosmogoyf, I win. So what if I play Disruptor Flute, name Cosmogoyf? You want to build your deck around a single creature? Go for it. I'm going to be ready. Unlicensed Hearse looks useless. It's like, it only helps my opponent. Okay, we got a plan. I hope they didn't transform their sideboard into something else. Sounds actually not good. It's awful. I can't cast the Silver Gill Adept on turn 2. I'm gonna mulligan. But we have the. Do you know what? Maybe I can't. Okay, I'm gonna keep. I'm not going to because we do have the Engineered Explosives, which can blow up the Cosmogoyf at a moment's notice, and it looks like we need to. It looks like we need to. And they're already going. They're already going off. We got Manamorphose in this deck. What else is in this deck? Plunge into Darkness. Sacrifice any number of creatures. You gain 3 life for each sacked. Pay any amount of life. Then look at that many cards on the top of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand. The rest. It's digging so hard for that Cosmogoyf. So hard. Maybe too hard. I'll just put a Steam Vents to play tapped. So they go Cosmogoyf turn 2. Spoils of the Vault. Cosmogoyf for sure. Cosmogoyf is back. All right, Cosmogoyf, I've been expecting you, but I can only take 1 hit from you, apparently. Oh, that's good. That's a good card in this matchup, too. Oh, my God, this thing's so much bigger than I originally thought it was going to be. Well, again, we have to hope that we don't get flinged here. We have to hope we don't get flinged. It's hilarious I even have an answer to this thing at all. Okay, if we can dodge fling, maybe we have a chance. Boom! No, we didn't dodge fling, apparently. Alright, or apparently thud. Alright, good games. I could not interact with any of that at all. Or not very well, anyhow. Yeah, I think it's just a deck just built completely around Cosmogoyf. This is a very unlucky string of matchups, because this is... I promise you, this is not the meta at all. Anyway, between this game and the last one. Anyway, that was round 4. Let's move on to round 5. Okay, I forgot. Like, we just went X3, so I'm actually dropping from the league. I promise this deck is a lot better than what it presented to you today, given we just played against like a bunch of off-meta super aggro decks. Like the aggro decks I'm prepared for. I mean, there's aggro in the meta game, all right? There's prowess, there's energy, but those are interactable with like things like Lightning Bolt. You know, Lightning Bolt and Flame of Anor and all my other diddly stuff. Actually, I was thinking, you know, we could have had Flood Pits Drowner in that last match, and that probably would have like sent that deck to the bin as well. So that last match was like super fragile. Unfortunately, we did not. Well, we had the answer, but they were too fast. Their plan beat us. I am going to continue playing this deck because I think it just interacts the best with the actual metagame. I'm not gonna I don't really want to scrap this video and then make another one because I'd rather just put this thing out there, and then the next time I make a video I'll put it up. It's too bad I just had a 4-1 right before I recorded this, but that's just the luck of the draw. That I still have a lot of faith in this variation of Merfolk until Lorwyn comes out, and then we see how. I'm not really expecting a lot from Lorwyn, but I am expecting that Lorwyn might shake up Modern enough that we'll see what happens. See if I still have to lean to this type of deck. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of Disruptor Flute. I mean, but again, we just never ran into the matchups. I'm thinking though, Blood Moon. I probably should have a third one in the sideboard. There's a lot of matchups where Blood Moon is good, and I think it's an upgrade over Harbinger of the Seas in this current metagame. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. See you next time.